Oh, my amazing artists. Today we are going to talk about Frida Kahlo. Her last name is spelled Kahlo. She is a Hispanic artist that I'm going to share at the end of this video some more details about her and show you an actual photograph of her and some of these photographs in color or a picture of her in color so that you can see how vibrant and bright she is as a person, or I'm sorry, was, she has passed, and kind of how her look embodies her art, and I'll show you a few of her artworks as well. She is very well known, and if you just Google Frida Kahlo, you can come up with all kinds of different artists' versions of portraits of her, as well as her artwork, and really look at what it was she was trying to teach. But today, we're going to go ahead and jump into drawing her. So, as any self-portrait starts, you definitely want to grab a blank piece of paper. Don't forget to put your name, grade, and group letter. If you're an A or B, just write only one letter, please. On the other side, sorry, I have dog hair everywhere because it's that time of year when the dog sheds. I'm going to keep this drawing guide next to me, and I'm going to keep my sketchbook where I practice drawing her because this is new to me as well. So if you want to practice first on a scrap piece of paper or a piece of notebook paper before you start your final copy, you can do that. I also suggest that you watch this entire video once through before you draw along. That's just so you have an idea of where everything needs to go before you get started. So first, we're going to draw a horizontal line, or I'm sorry, a vertical line on both sides. Those are going to be the sides of her head. And then I like to just kind of add a more angled lines coming down from that, and then a straight line across. So this doesn't look like a face at all. It looks more like a robot, but I'm going to show you a little trick. That if you lightly put a curve in there and lightly put a curve here, I might want to make this even curvier as I want her chin to show, you kind of get more of a face shape. Then what you can do is go in with your eraser, get rid of some of those lines that you don't want so it's not so sketchy looking. Kind of those straight-ended lines definitely get in the way. And then you kind of have a better idea of a face shape. So that's kind of the easier way to do this. If you want to just draw the U shape like your drawing guide shows you, that's totally fine. I completely understand. Okay, step 2 says to add a hair, a net, and a neck. So her hairline is kind of interesting. I'm going to slide this down a little bit so that her hair connects to the side. So we're going to find the middle of her face, and then we're going to bring that line down and across. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. Now that you have the hairline done, we're going to add just a little bit more detail to it by kind of darkening it up and then kind of make little wispy, very flat U shapes that kind of come off of the front of the hairline to make it look like her hair is kind of pulled up in a little bun or something, because her hair is usually up. And another very distinguishing feature about Miss Frida Kahlo is that she wears a lot of flower, like headbands or crowns in her hair. So it's a really fun drawing. All right, so next is her neck. So you just want to draw very slight curve, kind of coming down from the jawline right here where that straight part was, and just kind of slowly curves out. And we're going to stop there for now with the neck. We'll get the rest of it here in a minute. So I noticed something I didn't do is I don't bring the hair down far enough. So it kind of curves up a little too much. So it should look more like a V shape more than a U shape. So just erase a little bit, bring that down. And then right there, just below her hair, you're going to add one ear on each side of her head, like so. And we're going to kind of give her hair a little more volume by doing kind of a diagonal curved line that goes up from there. So it looks like her hair is up on her head. All right, there's a step in this that doesn't really show very well, and that is kind of the top of her hair. So what I like to do, and I know I'm doing this pretty lightly, so I'm gonna draw it in very, very lightly, just so I have an idea of where my flower crown kind of needs to go. So a really, really light line that kind of connects this side to this one. Once you have that, we can erase these lines that kind of go up into her hair, because those don't need to be there. And okay, now we're going to move on to, in step 3, we added the ears, but we have not done her shoulders and her shawl. So her shawl kind of starts up a little higher, like it's coming around her back, and it just swoops down like her shoulders. And then we want to give her like a neckline here. And then you're going to continue this line like she's wearing a piece of clothing. That's kind of covering her her neck as well as her shoulders there, okay? Then if you want to make this look like it's more fabric-y, you can add a couple little lines in there. Like so. So it kind of looks like it's a little more folded up on her neck and not just a straight piece of fabric there. So these are little details that really make a drawing go from looking more two-dimensional and cartoonish to three-dimensional and realistic. All right, so we're on to step 4, and we're going to add her eyes, her nose, and a little more detail to her clothing. So first, we're going to get her eyes in, and they are directly in between her ears. I may have put her ears up a little too high. One on the right side, we're going to just kind of draw a tall, skinny oval and color it in. And you can do this just with your pencil. Totally fine. And we're just going to give her some gestures of eyelashes there. Make those a little darker. Okay. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Like so. I may have gone overboard on this side. Let's get some of those out of there. Easy to erase if you draw lightly first, and then work on drawing a little bit darker. Once you know it's in the right space and that you have the right idea. So let's get rid of this guideline and find the middle of her face right above where her mouth will be and give her a little U shape, kind of a flattened U shape for her nose, which looks like, so I'm going to go straight down from the middle, put a little dot there, and give her a nice little U-shaped nose. Okay, pretty simple nose, right? All right, now we're going to kind of give her some jewelry. So you want to draw like a nice U shape here, and then mimic it again. So make a necklace. You can just add some little lines around to make it look like it's jewelry, fancy chain she might be wearing. And then we are going to draw another line here. I'm going to clean this up really quick. And we're going to draw a zigzag to make her shirt a little more interesting. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're drawing in pencil. We can always erase if something doesn't look right and adjust it, okay? All right, so there we have that. And now I want to move on to step 5. Step 5 is adding her mouth, some earrings, her very well-known unibrow, which means her eyebrows have a lot of hair in between them, And then some of the flowers that go in her flower crown. So there's a few steps here. So I'm just going to kind of break this down and go really slow. First, what I like to do is go ahead and finish the nose by adding just a little curve here and a little curve there. So it looks like she has a nose and kind of some separation between her eyes. Then I'm going to move up to her eyebrows, which should start right where that nose line starts. I'm going to put a little vertical line there. Move you guys just a little closer for this part so you can see really well. And then we're going to draw little tiny lines that make eyebrows what they are, which are little baby hairs, right? I don't know if you guys look at yourself in the mirror very closely, but if you do, you'll notice that those are all tiny little hairs. So once you have one side done, and they kind of curve away from the face, so away from the center of the face, make sure they go opposite directions, depending on what side of the head you're working on. And I make them curve down just slightly so that they kind of look like they're curving with her face, okay? So there we have that. And then add just a few little lines in the middle because she had a lot of facial hair and definitely hair in between her eyebrows, was something she is most known for, that she has a unibrow. All right, now we're going to work on her mouth, which goes in between the nose and the chin. So I'm just going to start first with kind of a smile shape. Then you want to add in some dimension in her upper lip. I always do one side different than the other. It's okay if it's a little off. Nobody is perfect. And then give her a bottom lip, which just kind of mimics that top one. And then some smile lines on the sides. So just like that, she has a mouth. Now she's looking more like a person. All right, I'm going to give her some earrings. I am also going to adjust these ears because they are way too high on my head. I even make mistakes when I am working, guys. So do not be afraid to erase your errors and move things if they look like they're in the wrong place. Her ears really shouldn't be above her eyes, so mine are up way too high. So let's get those in the right place here. Like so. Okay, we've done a lot of erasing, so I kind of have to bring her hair down a little bit more, and I can adjust those lines here in a bit. All right. Now what we're going to do is add in some of the flowers that go in her hair. We're just going to start with simple flowers. I'm going to kind of put them on the white space in between her hairline and that very light line I drew above it so that they look like they're sitting in her hair. So first I'm going to start off with kind of a daisy shape flower. So it's very simple rounded U-shaped petals. And a circle for the center, and then I like to add little leaves kind of popping off of the flowers, and then maybe a rose shape kind of right there, maybe a little leaf coming down there. Maybe there's a flower shape coming out over here. We can't see it all. Oops. And that's okay if you can't see it all. You don't have to see every little detail. I'll just add some leaves in. Maybe shade that in a little bit more. Get rid of that guy. So then I just kind of continue on repeating those flowers, maybe make some of the petals look like longer and skinnier for flower variety. Because who wants a flower crown that's all the same flowers, right? And then don't forget to add a leaf. And then maybe we have another rose shape over here. Kind of goes off that way. And it gets a leaf off of it in both directions. One more rose I think we have room for right here. So I'm going to make this one kind of bigger, kind of aimed more at us, like so. And there we have it. And you can just kind of fill in any spaces that you may see with leaves or anything else that you really think that should go in there. You can make tiny little flowers if you want to kind of fill in the space. It's really up to you. Now we're going to finish the drawing. Again, adding more leaves into the flower crown and kind of drawing a light line to where her hair might be back there so that it really looks nice and full and interesting. Okay. You could even go back in and add like extra petals to some of your flowers to make them look like they're bigger. If you're looking for something to kind of fill in some spaces, that is a great way to do it. Excuse me. I think this one could use some more. Just remember when your flowers overlap, like my rose and my daisy kind of flower here, you just don't want to go over top of the other one. And I feel like this needs a bigger leaf down here, and this one needs something up there. So I'm just going to kind of fill in the spaces, adding extra leaves and petals and things. I kind of want this guy to be bigger. Just extend some stuff out so it looks more interesting and full. So I'm going to quickly add in some lines a little darker based on where I said her hair should be, so that it looks like she actually has hair up there. Okay. And her flower crown is finished. You guys can add any kind of flowers that you would like. It is really up to you. The last step was to add some earrings or jewelry. These can be super simple with just a vertical line and a circle, or you can make them flowers. You can make them whatever you want. I'm going to keep mine simple. I did notice one thing I forgot was just a gentle curve underneath her mouth for a chin, just so it looks like she has a chin. And there you have it. You have completed your Frida Kahlo drawing. I hope you guys have fun. Remember to draw really big, but really lightly. If you're holding your pencil and squeezing really tight and it's really close to your fingers, that's not going to give you a light line. But if you hold your pencil about halfway out and use it further away from the paper, it will give you a much lighter line and a more easily erased image, so that you can make as many mistakes as I did and still come out with a beautiful drawing. The last thing I want you to do is add color to this. You can add color in so many ways. You can use crayons, colored pencils, oil pastels, paint if you have it. If you're painting, please remember that painting over top of pencil will cover it up completely. But if you use watercolor, then your paint will still allow the pencil to be seen through there so that you don't have to redraw everything. If you use something like poster paints or tempera paint, it will cover up every detail of your drawing, and then you kind of have to redraw on top of it. So I hope you guys have fun with this. Make the background interesting, do something creative today, and I cannot wait to see what you guys turn into me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.